Hello friends, welcome back to my video channel. In this video I am going to talk about phylum Arthropoda, and watch this video till the end because this phylum is very important for the examination. Most of the questions have been asked from this phylum Arthropoda, and I will be sharing some trick to remember the some of the terms so that you can remember in the examination. So without making any delay, let's start the phylum Arthropoda. So before starting the points, let us know what is the meaning of Arthropoda. Arthro means jointed, poda means legs. Okay, Arthro means jointed, poda means legs. Okay, and here is the first point which is asked in the KSET examination, and which is very important, that is the phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum of the animal kingdom. You should have to remember the largest phylum in the animal kingdom is the phylum Arthropoda, and here they have jointed legs, and so arthropods are commonly called as joint footed animals. Okay, they have jointed legs. You can see here in the diagram which I have drawn here. See, these are the jointed legs. They have jointed legs. That's why they are called as joint footed animals. And some arthropods are aquatic and some are terrestrial and some are aerial and few are parasitic. Okay, you can give an example for aquatic arthropods, or you can give an example like limulus, king crab are the examples. And coming to terrestrial, you can give many examples like scorpion, spider. And coming to aerial, you can give example like butterflies, honeybees, drosophila. Okay, and some are parasitic arthropods. So like parasitic arthropods examples are like ticks, bugs, lice, bedbugs, mites are the examples for the parasitic arthropod. Okay, and let us move on to the next point. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomates. I guess in the previous video while explaining the phylum Annelida, I have explained these terms, right? If you didn't watch that video, you can go back and watch that video, which is very helpful for the examination. And so see this in Annelida also, they are also bilaterally symmetrical, and they are also triploblastic, and they are also eucoelomates, means true coelomates. Okay, so they are bilaterally symmetrical means the body plane can be able to cut only in the one plane, see, so that they can get the identical left and right. See in this you can see, if you cut the animal view, we don't get the identical right and left, but if you cut in only one plane like this, you can get the identical left and right. That actually forms the bilaterally symmetrical. And they are triploblastic. So triploblastic means they have three body layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. And they are eucoelomates means they have true body cavity, that is called as coelomate. And coming to the structure, the body is metamerically segmented. Okay, as like that of annelids. Okay, they are metamerically segmented, and it is divided into head, thorax and abdomen. The special feature of this arthropoda is body can be divided into head, thorax and abdomen. Okay, it is clearly you can divide head, thorax and abdomen. And this is important for the examination. In some arthropods, the head is fused with the thorax, means head is fused with the thorax, so that is called as cephalothorax. They may ask what is cephalothorax. Cephalothorax means the head is fused with the thorax, that's why that is called as cephalothorax. And let us move on to the next point. Each segment bears a pair of appendages which are adapted to perform various functions like locomotion, swimming, balancing, respiration and food handling. See, you can see they have each segment have appendages. Okay, they are these appendages are adapted for performing various function. Okay, these appendages which helps in locomotion. And in the next point, body covering is in the form of chitinous cuticle which forms the exoskeleton. Okay, it forms the exoskeleton which is sheds at intervals. This process is called as ecdysis or molting. See here in the examination they may ask what is ecdysis or molting. Molting means at several intervals, so the exoskeleton is going to shed off. Okay, that is called as molting or ecdysis. Okay, and let us move on to the next point. They have definite head with sensory structures like antenna, compound eyes, mouth parts, which are well developed in case of arthropods. They have definite head, okay, antenna and mouth parts, okay, which are well developed in case of arthropods. And next one is digestive system. Here in this case, digestive system is complete with mouth and anus, and digestion is intracellular, and it contains digestive glands called as hepatopancreas. Here digestion is complete with mouth and anus, okay, and the digestion is intracellular, okay, and they have digestive gland called as hepatopancreas. And coming to the respiration, so in the exam they asked respiratory organs of arthropod. So these are the respiratory organs, that is respiration is by gills or by tracheae or by book lungs or by gills. This is important for the examination. Book lungs, tracheae, gills. Okay, these are the respiratory organs of the arthropod. Then coming to the circulatory system, the circulatory system here in case of arthropod is they have open type of circulatory system. What is open type of circulatory system? Means in open type of circulatory system, the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and the tissues are directly bathed in it. It means that blood is in direct contact with the tissues. Okay, that is open type of circulatory system. See, in case of annelids shows closed type of circulatory system. Arthropods shows open type of circulatory system, and in case of arthropod, blood is colorless because of the absence of hemoglobin. Okay, coming to the excretory system, they have Malpighian tubules, coxal glands or antennary glands or green glands. Okay, the excretory organs in case of arthropods is green glands for excretion. Okay, and coming to the nervous system, the nervous system consists of circumpharyngeal nerve ring and double ventral gangliated nerve cord. Okay, and let us move on to the few more points. So here the next point is they have hemocoel. What is hemocoel? Hemocoel means the primary body cavity of the most of the invertebrates, that is called as hemocoel. Okay, so and this body cavity means this hemocoel is always filled with a colorless blood called as hemolymph. Okay, and coming to the reproduction, here sexes are separate, means this shows the sexual dimorphism. So I have explained what is sexual dimorphism. For your convenience, I will repeat once again. Sexual dimorphism means it is the systematic difference in the form between the individuals of the different sexes in the same species. That actually forms the sexual dimorphism. And there are oviparous or viviparous. So what are oviparous? What are oviparous means they egg-laying animals are called as oviparous. And coming to viviparous means certain animals undergo embryonic development inside a mother womb. Those are called as viviparous animals. Means they don't lay eggs, rather they gave birth to living young individuals. Those are called as viviparous animals. And here the one trick I would like to give is that to remember for the examination. See here you can look at here. See OV, it starts with OVI. O. Okay, so you can remember egg which shape in the egg is in shape of oval. So O. Okay, O. So you can observe here OV. So you can remember when you look at this. So it is in egg shape. So oviparous means egg laying animals. Viviparous means which are gives birth to living young ones. Those are called as viviparous. Okay, this is one trick to remember. Then next, fertilization is internal and development may be indirect or direct. Means development may be without a larval stage or maybe with the larval stage. And finally coming to the classification, here is the classification which includes 7 classes. First one is Ancyopora. Example for this is Peripatus, and this Peripatus, this is the diagram of the Peripatus. Okay, and it actually forms the connecting link between Arthropoda and Annelids. Which one? That is Peripatus. Okay, next class is Crustacea. The example for this is prawn, king crab, which is called as Limulus, and lobster. And coming to insect, bedbug, butterflies, honeybees, mosquito, Drosophila are the examples. And coming to Diplopoda, example is millipede. And coming to Chilopod, the example is centipede. And the last one, that is Arachieda, example is spider or and scorpion. These are the example for the phylum Arthropoda. Okay, I hope this video will be helpful, and if you learn something new, please do subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you everyone.